It is 69 degrees on March 8th. I don't know. Hi, welcome to Tuesday. It's been a terrible day so far, actually. It can always be worse, but today's not a good one. Headed into Kent. They sent us all an email a couple weeks ago, told us Summit Street, the main road, was going to be a one-way. So I took an alternative route in. Come in from the east, there's way fewer people coming in the east. Well, they were not clear in the email, and that's what they had closed, the eastbound lanes in. So I had to go all the way back out to Main Street. It was about a 20-minute detour, and I was several minutes late to class. They had also decided to close down all the parking for the 3 students that were coming in today for campus tours. So they shut down all the parking. So I parked illegally in the business staff lot, put an old parking ticket under the windshield. That didn't matter. They've wised up. Now they're putting chalk on the tires so they know if they've done it or not. So I got to get some yellow chalk now. But yeah, so they gave me another ticket. The good news is I'm in this car and I really couldn't care less. I won't be driving this back. So that ticket will not be paid. And I don't think they'll be tracking my grandparents down for $12. So, Kent State.
Call about the head gas and stuff, or
I emailed John.
$191,930. It says it's 53. It's actually about 73 outside. And here we go. Oh, it's happy. It's plenty happy. Sounds good too, actually. Yeah, this is fun. I'm in about 18-20 miles, and I think that Space Gray F10 DCT non-complete leather competition package. I don't know, you tell me. Pre-facelift, maybe. Laser jammers. Yeah. Sweet. Alright, so I haven't talked to you for a couple hours today. I did give you a rundown in the morning. It was a crappy morning. Traffic was just terrible getting in there. Parking situation. Late to class. Anyways, came home. Feels like about 3 days ago now. The day's been a total blur. But the afternoon, I did some filming for E39 Source, and we've got a garage that looks a lot better. Note that the plastic is gone, the charger is gone, the exhaust newspapers are gone, the cover is gone, and this car is kind of in drive mode right now. I adjusted the tire pressure. I had overinflated them all to 51 psi for storage, and they are now back down at 48 in the rear and 44 in the front. I drove this car 19 miles or something like that today, almost 20 miles. Felt great. It was really nice to get it out. It was 70 something degrees and sunny today. It was beautiful. It was a perfect excuse. Only negative was the roads are still a little dusty, salty, not wet, nothing that will be activated at these temperatures and without the presence of moisture. But if I were to come back to the rear bumper and being plastic, I'm not worried about hurting anything, and we do that. That is all from 20 miles, purely city driving. It's nasty. So before it'll go in for weeks of service, it'll need a Z6. But the reason I didn't do it today, if it doesn't rain tomorrow, I want to be able to do the same thing. Here's why. It was at 191,930. Now it's at 91,952, so I guess I drove it 22 miles. And I want, and this is weird, but I think it would be really cool to drop it off, give Tom the keys, and just be like, all right, put an engine in at exactly 192,000. That would be fun. And then I would be able to say, hey, the engine was replaced at exactly 192,000 miles. So that's kind of the goal. But I did get into Lyric today, as you've already seen. The heads are in, the block's in. It looks great. Everything looks really clean. It looks almost new. There's some dirt in the valley. You know, they did all the machining work. Lyric's going to do the final cleanup of all the pieces before they're put together. The pistons, they hadn't totally decarbonized the head of the top of the pistons yet. So Tom's going to do that at the facility there. So it's exciting. It's coming together. The Mini Cooper that's in the spot that this car's going to have will be done Friday, which is when I'm taking it in, weather providing. So I'll get it in on Friday, drop it off to them. They'll be able to finish the Mini. Tom's going to be out of town, I think the exact same days I am, the 16th through the 28th. So all the rest of the guys are going to be there, but it's like 22 man hours to build the engine. So it'll be 2 or 3 full days to build the engine, and they don't even want to get my car up on the lift and take the engine out until the new one is built and ready to be put in. Just in case they run into, hey, we need this part and it's 3 days out. They don't want to have everything totally torn apart. It would just be a cluster. So they're going to get it built, make sure all of that goes well before they tear mine apart, which is good. So it'll have a couple days in the storage facility next door. Nobody goes in there. It'll just sit in their secured facility while they get the engine built. And then at that point, I asked him today, and it's really hard to predict with a project of this scope, you know, what day do you expect to be able to have me come in, pay my bill, and hand me my keys and drive away a perfectly working car? I had told him 6 months ago that, or more than that, 7 months ago, that May 1st was my work towards date. You know, that's the goal. And he said that that was very reasonable. Today, I think he misspoke. He was getting a phone call. Like 3 people were talking to him, and they were swamped finishing up cars today. He said, he said it's very, very probable we're going to aim for that 3rd week of May. I'm 90% sure he said April. I didn't want to bother him. So when I'm in there Friday dropping it off, I am going to verify that he means late April into that 1st week of May, get it done. And, you know, this is one of their bigger projects, probably their biggest project right now. So they get a couple guys on it. It's a lot of work, but with, you know, 4 skilled people there, it should be able to be done in a month, a couple weeks. And he always told me, plan on a month. He knows there's going to be parts, oh crap, we need this O-ring. You know, it's okay, 2 days for the O-ring, and then they get the O-ring, oh, we need this other little gasket or whatever. It's all going to be fastening hardware, nothing big. But everything's good news so far. It's all back, looks great, and he's excited about it. So the black view seems to be working well. They have stayed up on the windshield. I was worried that I would take the cover off and see the ones falling, but hopefully they stay up there. Hopefully they're as reliable as that Valentine mount. Those things never come down. But that is the update with that. And there was one other thing that I had forgotten. Oh, I looked at the old connecting rod bearings and main bearings that came out of the engine that I bought with 122/732 on it, and they looked really good. I mean, there was some very minor signs of wear, just kind of like a discoloration on one of the corners, but they looked great, so that's a good sign. I would love to see the connecting rod bearings in that engine, and I probably never will, depending on who buys it, where it goes, and what kind of relationship, if any, I have with the buyer. I would love for somebody to buy it and do what I just did to this other one and be able to document how much it was worn at 192,000 miles. That would be interesting. 50,000 of which I've put on this car. So that is the update. Sorry for a long clip. Anyways, I went to that night class, evening class today. Traffic wasn't nearly as bad. I got lucky with that. The Genesis is still here. I'm going to take it back to Silver Lake tomorrow. I ran out of time this afternoon. So I went to the class. I think I mentioned one of the girls that was presenting in our group last minute, like an hour before the presentation, said there was some family emergency and she couldn't make it, so she didn't come. We did pretty well though. It had to be 20 minutes. We were like 30 minutes. It took forever. We had a couple videos. We finished that, sat through the rest of that class. It was horribly boring. Came back here. I did a business finance homework, 260 freaking points for one homework assignment. I'm also noticing the Accord is like spotless right now. She must have had it washed today. Actually feels really good too. So we did the presentation, got out of there, came back. I did that finance thing, watched 2 episodes of Suits. Now it's almost 2 a.m. I'm tired. I'm going to bed in a minute.
I did get the 330 back today. Sorry, huge update here. Got the 330 back. The O2 sensors are done. I only drove it home, so I don't know if they had reset the light. I'm trusting it won't come back on. A couple things he did bring to my attention. He said there's a very minor oil pan gasket leak. The front left axle, since I did the front right on the 330 about a year ago, the front left one is showing some minor signs of wear, and he's thinking that there could be a very minor coolant leak in either or both the radiator and the expansion tank. So typical high mileage BMW maintenance items. If any one of them become pressing, I will do them. I've never done an oil pan gasket. With a four-wheel drive car, it's probably a pain in the ass. If it really is, that's something I would have him do. He also said that if I want to go in there on a Saturday, just let them know I'm coming, use their shop, use their tools and supplies, there's no charge, and they'll help me out. So that is really cool that they would do that. Really, I think I'm well equipped here, but if not, I have that option. Same thing with the radiator. I've done a radiator in a 540, I've done expansion tanks. They're not a huge deal. This is an electric fan, so I'd have to pull the electric fan instead of a fan clutch. But he said it's only held in with a plug and like 2 bolts. But I'm not anticipating having to do any of those things soon unless I'm wrong and I have to. Okay, are you still listening? I'm just ranting about my old car problems. So that's it. I'm gonna go up, get to bed. I did start an E39 source video today that will be the whole probably 30-minute video of the overhaul on this car. And that'll just sit on my Mac until hopefully it's back in sometime in late April or May with a fully functioning engine, and we'll get to listen to that and finish that video up. It's gonna be a doozy. But boy, does it smell good in here. Okay, that door's locked. But when this car sits all closed up for a while, the leather just like breathes the wonderful scent of both Zano Z10 and Swiss Vax. Oh yeah, it smells better than a new car. But I got it dirty today. That's good. That's what they're for. What the hell was that? You hear that? It's stiff. There's stuff creaking all over the place. Okay, I'm going to bed. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on Hump Day. Good night.